My wife claimed playing tennis kept her fit. I didn't know that was her way of saying she was sleeping with her trainer during breaks. I acted like I was clueless. Then I handed her divorce documents right there while she was training. Now she's in tears, asking me to take her back. I'm a 34-year-old man who operates a series of upscale fitness equipment stores in 3 different states. I built this from the ground up after leaving college at 22. I share this because it's significant. I didn't achieve my success by being gullible or allowing others to take advantage of me. I've been married to Monica, 31, for 7 years. She used to work as a journalist for a prominent newspaper, or at least she did. We'll get to that later. We don't have kids yet, and honestly, I'm thankful for that right now. Around 6 months ago, Monica suddenly became obsessed with tennis. Out of the blue, she had never shown any interest before. She couldn't tell you the difference between Federer and Nadal, but suddenly she's purchasing $300 rackets and stylish tennis outfits like she's gearing up for Wimbledon. I supported her at first. Why wouldn't I? My work keeps me occupied, and I thought it was great that she found a new passion. I even built her a practice wall in our backyard, which set me back $15,000, but I figured a happy wife means a happy life, right? Wrong. The warning signs began small. It started with her taking extra lessons. Brad said, "I need more personal time to improve my backhand." Then it escalated to evening sessions because the courts were less busy. Soon, there were weekend tournaments where spectators weren't allowed. Brad. Just hearing his name annoyed me. He's 28, a former college player who almost turned pro. Whenever Monica mentioned him, her eyes had that certain look. You know the one? That's when my instincts kicked in. In my profession, when things don't add up, you dig deeper. When behaviors change, you take notice. And Monica's changes were as loud as a siren. I started with our joint credit card statements. Tennis lessons at $1,150 an hour, 3 times a week, plus equipment and court rental fees that didn't align with the club's prices. I crunched the numbers. She had spent $12,000 in 3 months on tennis. That's not a hobby, that's a part-time job. Then I noticed other oddities. New lingerie appeared in the laundry that she never wore for me. Her phone was always on silent. She would shower right when she got home from practice, even though the club had facilities. And there was a scent, not just sweat but men's cologne. The journalist in her should have been smarter about covering her tracks, but even the cleverest women can be foolish. I could have confronted her then, caused a scene, demanded answers. That's what most men would do. But I'm not like most men. I run businesses by being ahead of the game. Why would I approach my marriage any differently? So, I began documenting every receipt, every odd schedule change, every time she came home with a different hairstyle. I made a detailed Excel spreadsheet. Numbers don't lie, even when spouses do. The breaking point came when I checked her car's GPS history. Quick tip. If you're paying for the car, you have every right to know where it's been. Tennis club? Sure, sometimes. Brad's apartment complex? 3 times a week, plus various hotels around the city. You do the math. But here's the thing. I still didn't have solid proof. Suspicious? Absolutely. Enough for a divorce lawyer to secure a win? Not yet. I don't make moves unless I'm certain of victory. That's when I decided to play the long game. I smiled at breakfast, kissed her goodbye, inquired about her tennis progress, even attended one of her lessons. I shook Brad's hand and told him to take care of my wife. The look on his face said he knew I was onto him, but what could he do? Monica thought I was being supportive. She posted on Instagram about her amazing husband who encourages her dreams, and her friends commented on how lucky she was. I saved every single comment. Evidence of her public front, while she was being unfaithful with a tennis instructor who probably earned less in a year than I spent on my watch collection. But I wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. Edit 1. Wow, didn't expect this to blow up. To answer a few questions, yes, I'm hiring a lawyer. I already have one. And no, I haven't confronted her yet. I'm still gathering evidence. Edit 2. For those asking why I don't just leave, I built my empire from nothing. She isn't taking half because she couldn't stay faithful. This is chess, not checkers. Update 1, 2 weeks after the original post. All right, you wanted an update. After my last post, I took your advice and hired a private investigator. Best $5,000 I ever spent. This guy was like a ghost. Monica didn't suspect a thing. Within a week, he had everything. Photos of them entering Brad's apartment, a timeline showing she'd arrive at 2 p.m. and leave at 5 p.m. for 3-hour tennis lessons. Sure, if that's what we're calling it. But the real kicker? He recorded audio from the parking lot. Let's just say the sounds coming from Brad's car weren't about improving her serve. The investigator also looked into Brad. Turns out, he has quite a reputation. 3 other married women in the last 2 years. One divorce already named him as the cause. He specifically targets bored housewives and professional women going through midlife crises. He even has a strategy. Starts with compliments about their athletic abilities, gives special attention during lessons, then suddenly they need private coaching to reach their full potential. But Monica wasn't just another victim. The texts my investigator retrieved showed she was actively pursuing him, sending pictures from our bedroom in lingerie I bought her for our anniversary, discussing how her husband is too focused on work to meet her needs. One text made me furious. He thinks I'm at Pilates right now. God, you have me so much better than he ever did. That's when I realized this wasn't just going to end with divorce papers. I met with my lawyer. Let's call him Sherman because he's about to go scorched earth. I showed him everything. He actually whistled when he saw the evidence folder. This is the cleanest case I've seen in 20 years, he said. She won't get a dime of alimony. I might even go after her for the money she wasted on those lessons. See, in our state, infidelity still matters, especially when marital assets are used to finance the affair. Every dollar she spent on Brad was theft from our marriage. I've been documenting every withdrawal from our joint account. While I was planning my tactical nuclear option, Monica came home one night acting strange. Not guilty, just nervous. She sat me down and said she had something to tell me. For a brief moment, I thought she might confess, maybe save us both the drama. Nope. I think I'm pregnant. The words hit me like a sledgehammer. Pregnant. After months of being unfaithful to her tennis coach, now she's pregnant. I kept my cool, hugged her, told her it was wonderful news, even opened a cheap bottle of champagne. Why waste the good stuff? All while my mind calculated probabilities. We'd only been intimate twice in the last 3 months. Both times she'd been drunk and probably thinking of Brad. That night, while she slept, I did what any reasonable man would do. Scheduled a paternity test through my lawyer and updated my documentation to include potential paternity fraud. The next morning, I made her breakfast in bed, played the excited father-to-be, even went with her to Babies R Us to look at cribs. She was glowing, talking about our little miracle. Yeah, miracle. If by miracle, you mean another man's trophy. But here's where it gets intriguing. Remember Sophia, Monica's best friend from college? The one with the tech company and a Bentley? She'd been texting me, nothing inappropriate, just checking in since Monica had been so busy with tennis lately. Smart woman, Sophia. She knew what was happening without me needing to say anything. She started inviting me to events that Monica was too busy to attend. Gallery openings, wine tastings, charity galas where she needed a +1. Monica didn't care. She was too wrapped up in Brad to notice her best friend was keeping me company. Even encouraged it. You should go. Sophia hates going to these things alone. If only she knew Sophia hated something else more. Watching her best friend ruin her marriage for a wannabe tennis pro who drives a 2015 Mazda. The timeline worked perfectly. Monica was about 6 weeks pregnant by her own count. The paternity test would take another week. My lawyer had divorce papers ready with 2 versions. One if the child was mine, unlikely, and one if it wasn't. Ding, ding, ding. But I wasn't waiting for the test results to make my next move. Brad was about to learn why you don't mess with another man's wife, especially when that man has more money, connections, and rage than God. Edit. To everyone asking. No, I didn't do anything illegal. Everything I'm about to describe is perfectly legal, just ruthlessly effective. Edit 2. Yes, I'm getting tested for STDs. Actually did it already. Clean. Thank goodness. Update 2. Posted 1 week after Update 1. The paternity results came back exactly as expected. 0% chance I'm the father. 0%. But we'll come back to that. First, let me tell you about Brad's very bad week. Remember when I said everything I did was legal? I meant it. Turns out, when you own businesses in 3 states, you know people who own other businesses, like the country club where Brad worked. I had lunch with the club president, Gerald, 68, who is going through his own messy divorce. I showed him my investigator's findings. Not for sympathy, just thought he should know what kind of employee represents his establishment. Gerald's face went from polite interest to pure disgust as he flipped through photos of Brad with a member's wife in the club parking lot. "This is unacceptable," he said. "We have a morality clause for exactly this reason." Brad was fired within 24 hours. No severance, no references. His final paycheck barely covered the damage to the club's reputation. But that was just the appetizer. See, Brad marketed himself on Instagram with 15,000 followers. All those thirsty comments from married women. His entire business model relied on that image. So, I hired a reputation management firm. Not to destroy him. That would be too obvious. Instead, they made sure certain screenshots found their way to the right places. His DMs sliding into married women's inboxes, the previous divorce papers where he was named, and testimonials from husbands who caught him. His follower count dropped to 3,000 in 3 days. Comments turned from thirsty to threatening. Turns out a lot of husbands follow their wives' tennis coaches. Who knew? Then came the legal notices. Remember those 3 other married women my investigator found? Their husbands received anonymous packages with evidence. 2 of them are suing Brad for alienation of affection. Look it up. It's still a valid claim in our state. Between the lawsuits and losing his job, Brad is looking at bankruptcy. The best part? Monica had no clue. She continued texting him about their future together while he scrambled to find a lawyer. She actually came home crying one day because Brad was going through some work stress and seemed distant. I comforted her, made her tea, rubbed her shoulders while she vented about how unfair his boss was being, all while knowing I was the architect of his downfall. But the real show was yet to come. Monica scheduled her first prenatal appointment and, of course, wanted me to come, play the proud dad. I agreed enthusiastically and even took the day off work. The morning of the appointment, I suggested we stop by her office first because she had left her laptop at home, and I knew she had an important article due. Being the supportive husband, I brought it for her. What she didn't know was that I had asked Sherman to meet us there with witnesses and a court reporter. We walked into the newspaper lobby, and Monica was confused when she saw Sherman but tried to play it cool. "Honey, why is your lawyer here?" she asked. "Just some paperwork that needs your signature," I replied. "Won't take a minute." Sherman handed her the envelope. She opened it right there in the lobby. Divorce papers, paternity test results, screenshots of her texts, photos from the investigator, financial records showing every dollar she had stolen for her tennis lessons. The best part? Page 3 had a blown-up screenshot of her text. "He thinks I'm at Pilates right now. God, you have me so much better than he ever did." Her face went white, then red, then white again. She swayed on her feet. "You hired someone to follow me?" she asked. "I hired someone to document your theft," I corrected. "The affair was just a bonus." She tried to speak, but I held up my hand. "Your boyfriend is bankrupt, by the way. Fired from the club. Facing 2 lawsuits. His Instagram career is over. That's what happens when you mess with what's mine." The security guard was already moving closer, sensing drama. Monica's co-workers started to stare. This was her professional space where she had built her reputation, and I was systematically destroying it. "The apartment locks have been changed," I continued. "Your belongings are in storage. The unit number and key are in the envelope. The car you've been driving to see Brad? I own it. It's been reported stolen. You have 1 hour to return it to my office, or I'll press charges." "You can't do this," she shrieked. "I'm pregnant." "Yes, with Brad's baby," I replied. "It says so right in the paternity test. Congratulations, by the way. I'm sure he'll be a great father once he's done with bankruptcy court." She lunged at me, actually tried to hit me. Security stepped in and held her back while she screamed insults. Sherman was recording everything on his phone, more evidence of her instability. I straightened my tie and looked at the growing crowd of her colleagues. "Sorry for the disturbance, just handling some personal business." Then I walked out calm, composed, victorious. My phone started blowing up before I even reached my car. Monica, her mother, her sister, Brad, all blocked one by one. The only call I took was from Sophia. "I heard what happened," she said. "Are you okay?" "Never better. Dinner tonight, I'll pick the place." That was 3 days ago. Monica's been staying with her sister, posting sad stories on social media about her abusive ex who abandoned her while pregnant. What she doesn't mention is the evidence folder that makes her look like the villain she is, or that her newspaper put her on administrative leave pending an investigation into her conduct. Brad tried to reach out to me through a mutual acquaintance. He wanted to man up and talk things through. I sent back a simple message. Your talking days are over. Enjoy bankruptcy. As for me, I'm sitting in my office watching the sunset over the city I built. Sophia is on her way over with takeout from that place Monica used to say was too pricey. Turns out, when you remove a cheating wife from your finances, everything becomes affordable. The divorce will be finalized in 60 days, uncontested. She has no grounds to fight, no alimony, no asset division beyond what she brought into the marriage. Nothing. She keeps the baby and the shame. I keep everything else. Some might say I went too far. Forget those people. When you come for my dignity, my money, my reputation, I don't just defend, I destroy. That's not toxic masculinity. That's justice. Sherman called me this morning. Monica's lawyer wants to negotiate. Seems she's realized how messed up she truly is. Single mother, no job, baby daddy facing bankruptcy, no savings because she spent it all on tennis lessons. What should I tell them? Sherman asked. Tell them to check Brad's availability. I hear he has plenty of free time now. Edit. Before anyone asks, yes, I got tested again. Still clean. And yes, Sophia and I are taking it slow. She's been amazing through all this. Edit 2. To those calling me heartless, where was her heart when she was betraying me with Brad? When she was stealing our money? When she was trying to pass off another man's baby as mine? Get out of here with that noise. Final update, boys. Justice has been served colder than Monica's side of the bed. The divorce was finalized yesterday. Fastest proceedings Sherman has ever seen. When one party has documented proof of infidelity, financial fraud, and attempted paternity fraud, things tend to move quickly. Monica got exactly what she deserved. Nothing. No alimony, no assets, no dignity. She tried to claim emotional distress until Sherman presented her texts calling me a boring ATM to Brad. The judge wasn't impressed. But the real satisfaction came unexpectedly. 2 weeks ago, I received a call from Gerald at the country club. They were looking to sell. Seems the scandal had hurt their reputation more than anticipated. 3 board members' wives had been caught with Brad, and the resulting divorces created a PR nightmare. Membership was down 30%. They needed to get out. The asking price, $2.3 million. Market value, $3.8 million. I bought it in cash. Yesterday, after signing divorce papers in the morning, I signed purchase agreements in the afternoon. As of 5 p.m., I own the place where my marriage fell apart. First order of business, lifetime bans for Monica and Brad. Their photos are posted at every entrance with "Do Not Admit" in bold letters. Second order, renamed the main tennis court. Now it's the Loyalty Court with a plaque reading, dedicated to the sanctity of marriage and the consequences of betrayal. But wait, it gets better. Sophia helped me plan the grand reopening. We sent invitations to everyone in our social circle, Monica's former co-workers, her family, even Brad's remaining clients. The theme? New beginnings. The turnout was massive. Everyone loves a scandal, especially when they can take sides. Monica's own mother showed up, spending 20 minutes apologizing for raising such a disappointment. During my speech, I announced the club's new direction, a focus on family values, background checks for all instructors, and zero tolerance for inappropriate conduct. The crowd loved it. Then came the surprise announcement. Sophia stepped up to the microphone, her diamond ring catching the light. Yes, we got engaged right there on the Loyalty Court in front of everyone who watched Monica ruin our marriage. The ring? For .2 carats, the same size Monica had always joked about wanting for our 10th anniversary. Except Sophia got it after 3 months of loyalty versus Monica's 7 years of lies. Monica found out through Instagram. The meltdown was spectacular. 37 missed calls, texts ranging from, "How could you?" to "I made a mistake," to "Think about our child." Our child? That's rich. Brad's child? You mean the one she's raising alone? Because Brad skipped town 2 weeks ago. Apparently, bankruptcy and lawsuits aren't great for relationships. Who would have thought? He left her a note that Monica's sister sent to me, thinking I'd feel sorry for her. It read, "Can't do this. The pressure is too much. You're on your own." So now she's 7 months pregnant, unemployed, living in her sister's basement, abandoned by the man she betrayed her marriage for. Meanwhile, I'm engaged to a woman who owns a tech company, just bought the country club where everything went down, and my business is up 40% from the publicity. Karma? No. Karma would have been letting the universe handle it. This was calculated destruction, and I orchestrated every note. We're getting married next spring, And of course, the reception will be at the country club. The loyalty court will be adorned with white roses and a champagne fountain. Monica is not invited, obviously, but I made sure to send an announcement to her sister's address. Petty. Absolutely. Satisfying beyond words. To everyone following this journey, remember this. When someone betrays you, you have two choices. You can be the bigger person, take the high road, and let them live their life, or you can be like me. Burn their world down, salt the earth, and build your empire on the ashes. I chose empire. Monica chose Brad. Look how that worked out. Final edit. To all the men going through this, document everything. Get a lawyer and never show weakness. They made their choice when they stepped out. You make yours when you step up. Final edit 2. Sophia says, "Hi. We're reading these comments together over wine that costs more than Brad's former monthly salary. Life's good when you refuse to be a victim." Final edit 3. One last thing. Monica had the baby last week and named him Bradley. Yes, really. Brad wasn't there for the delivery, still MIA, but I was not in the room. Obviously, I was at the country club hosting a charity event for single fathers because irony is my new favorite hobby. Peace out, Reddit. This alpha's got a wedding to plan and an empire to run. Epilogue posted 6 months later. I promised myself I wouldn't update again, but you all deserve to know how this story ends. I got married last month in a perfect ceremony at the country club. 400 guests, including 3 judges, 2 senators, and enough business power to buy a small country. Monica's mother gave a speech about choosing the right partner, which had people crying. Not from emotion, but from trying not to laugh at the shade. During the reception, my new brother-in-law pulled me aside. He runs a background check service, and told me something interesting about our boy Brad. Turns out this wasn't his first rodeo. Brad Turner? Not even his real name. It's Bradley Kowalski. He changed it after getting run out of Arizona for the same actions. 3 cities, a dozen affairs, same pattern. He's currently in Florida trying to rebrand as a life coach. I didn't pursue it, why bother? Monica's living with her consequences every day. Last I heard, she's working part-time at a grocery store, fighting Brad for child support he doesn't have, and posting motivational quotes about strong single mothers on Facebook. Meanwhile, Sophia and I just closed on a house that makes my old place look like a shed. 7 bedrooms, a tennis court, ironically, and a view that would make God jealous. The master bedroom is bigger than Monica's entire apartment. But here's the real kicker. Remember the tennis club? It's thriving. Membership is up 50%. We started a program for divorced fathers to learn tennis with their kids. Call it therapy, call it irony, call it brilliant. One of our new members? Monica's father. He joined last month and brings his grandson every Saturday while Monica works. We've had coffee a few times. Good man. He says he's never seen me happier. He told me Monica cries every time she drops the kid off, realizing what she gave up for what she got. That's the thing about consequences. They compound. Every decision Monica made, every lie, every betrayal, every stolen moment with Brad led her here. Scanning groceries while I'm scanning investment portfolios. Begging for child support while I'm turning down business opportunities. Fighting with her sister while I'm honeymooning in Bali. Someone asked if I feel bad for her kid. I do. That's why I set up a college fund in his name. Full ride to any school he wants. Monica doesn't know. She'll find out when he turns 18. One last reminder that while his mother chose Brad over dignity, I chose success over self-pity. To every man reading this who's been cheated on, disrespected, or betrayed, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop asking, why me? Stop trying to win them back. They showed you who they are, believe them. Then show them who you are. Build your empire. Find your Sophia. Eye their nightmares and turn them into your dreams. Because the best revenge isn't just living well. It's living so well that their betrayal becomes the best thing that ever happened to you. Monica gave me that gift. In trying to ruin me, she freed me. In choosing Brad, she chose my destiny. Now I own the tennis court where they were unfaithful. I married the woman she introduced me to. I live the life she dreamed of. And every morning, I wake up next to someone who chose loyalty over lessons. Game, set, match. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you really enjoyed our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a fantastic day.